Hello everyone, welcome to Think Academy. And today it's our 8th practice of our KMC training camp. And we're going to discuss plane geometry. So I hope the 3 practices can help exercise your geometric thinking and also your spatial imagination. Okay, but these 2 abilities cannot be gained in one day. Okay, hope you can gain that from long-term practice. See here, the first question. Each of 5 children had a paper square, a paper triangle, and a paper circle. Each child placed their own papers in a pile as shown in the pictures. So you can see there are 5 pictures. How many children placed the triangle above square? This is a requirement. Now let's think of one thing. For example, if I put the pen after behind my hand, can you see the middle of the pen again? Or so if I put it in this way, put my hand on top of this pen in the middle part, can you see that? So the top thing, if it's not transparent, so it will cover the overlapping part of the bottom things. So if we put a triangle above the square, some part of the square will be covered by the triangle. Now let's see the first question. So you can see that very clear. We still can see the two top corners of the square. Yeah, but we can't see the 2 bottom corners of the square now. Here, we can't see this part. So they have been covered by the triangle because you can see every part of the triangle. So the first one, that means triangle is on top of the square. Let's see the second one. But in the second one, we can see the 2 bottom corners of the square. So it means it is on top of the triangle. This cannot. This doesn't satisfy the requirement. Let's see the next one. Also, we can see the 2 bottom corners of this square. So that means it's on top of the triangle. But so give it a cross. Let's see the fourth one. We can't see the 2 bottom corners of the square. So that means triangle is on top. And the last one, the same reason. You can see that we can't see the 2 bottom corners of the square. That means the triangle is on top. So here we give 3 shapes a tick. There are 3 shapes that satisfy our requirement. Let's choose D. Okay, so let's see the second question. The shape in a picture is to be split into 3 identical pieces. What does identical mean? It means the 3 pieces are the same. And what does one of these pieces look like? Let's check it. So some students may ask, Teacher, do you think is there any shortcut to solve this problem? No, there is not. Because in fact, there is no shortcut in every math problems. And to solve geometrical questions, normally, if there is no method, you have to solve them based on your geometric thinking and spatial imagination. We can give you ways to train these 2 abilities, but I cannot give you that ability directly. Okay, so now let's just start to try carefully and check. I'll start to try, be brave to try, and be careful to check. Okay, that's a method. Let's see for the option A. Can we find 3 shapes like option A in the right piece, in the right shape? Let's see, can we put it here? Put the first shape here. It's a 2 by 2 square and 1 small square. If we cut it so, you can see the second one very clearly because it's very special for this part in this A. Yeah, it's very special. Let's see, we can also see a lower square here and see a 2 by 2 squares here. So it's a second shape. After we find these 2, it's much more easier to find the last one. The last 5 squares are just option A, just like shape A, right? So A can work. We can. And then you can also check B, C, D, E in this way to see can you cut the right shape into such four shapes? Okay, now let's see the last question. From above, the corridor of a school looks like in the diagram. A cat walks along the dotted line drawn in the middle of the room. So, how many meters does the cat walk? No, sorry, the picture has been dragged to below the question, so that's why it's not above but below. Okay, now let's see here. So most kids will just divide the dotted line into three parts like this. One part, two part, and the three parts, the third part directly, right? It's easy to cut all the dotted line into such three parts, but it's not so easy to calculate them one by one. So I will introduce you one way to calculate it. Because for the first method, if we cut it in that way, we can't get the length of any part directly. But let's see. If I can cut it in this way, how long is the blue line? It's very clear. It's just the 36 meters. Now let's see. But don't forget this part, this black part. So we just need to translate it above to here. And then it can, yes, if we and the black line and the blue and then the green lines, they can just make 28. So we got two, yes, after the translation, we can got two numbers directly. Then we just need to finish the vertical part. And the vertical part can also be cut into two parts, like this. One part is the pink one, and the other part can be the yellow one. Okay, and let's see the pink one, because all the walking paths is in the middle, so the pink one should be half of 6 meters. It's just the 3 meters. And the yellow one, let's see. In fact, this yellow one and the red one can just make 20. So we just need to take away the red one. It's half of 8 meters, 4 meters. After we take 4 away from 20, we can get 16 meters here. Now we can add the remaining two parts, 16 and 3. It's not advisable to calculate it in your head, so I suggest you write down the operation on a piece of paper and calculate it step by step. I really hate to make mistake at the last step, so just be careful, okay? And let's see, but also after you write down the operation on a piece of paper, you can use some tricks to calculate it faster, just like this. Because there is only addition, so we can calculate the last two numbers directly. It's 19. Like this. Then you can also make the calculation much easier and more reliable by making tens. So let's see, 36 plus, how can we make 36 into a round number? By adding 4. And how can we make 19 into a round number? By adding 1. But can we just adding 4 and adding 1 to these two numbers? No, it's not. It's not scientific, right? And also we can make a 28 into a round number by plus 2, by adding 2. But we can't do that in this way. So you also need to take the red numbers away. They are 4, so they are 7. We have to take 7 away. Now let's calculate it. 36 plus 4 equals 40 plus 20 plus 30 minus 7. We can get 60 plus 20 plus 30 equals 90. 90 minus 7 equals 83 meters. So that's our final question. It's option E. Also, you can just write down 36 plus 28. By doing such a column addition on a piece of paper, it can also work. You can use more than one method to check if you have got the correct answer. Okay, so that's all for our practice aid. And also, this is a lot of video for our first training camp. And next week, we will have a rest. So we will see you after next week. See you then. Hope you will insist on practice. Bye.